All right, I am going to quickly go through how to make a number of different visual assets in the Department of Dance at the University of Michigan. We are going to make a poster, in portrait layout, a landscape-oriented image that could be displayed on a wall-mounted monitor, and a square 1-to-1 ratio image for use on Instagram. This is going to be done quickly through Adobe Illustrator. It's not the only way you can do it, but it is quite a robust tool in relation to copying things. Once you have them all set up, your text and things like that, you can copy them so easily in a way that you just can't do on Canva. I will show you how to do something in Canva a little bit in a separate video, but it's not quite as efficient. Anyway, as students, you should have access on a university computer to Adobe Illustrator. What I'm going to do first, actually, before I open up Illustrator, is I'm going to create a new folder. And I often do this at the start of a project to keep all of my assets organized. So let's call it Dance Promo Images. You'd create, title it whatever your project is called. And into that folder, we're going to put some assets. These are 3 images I've selected that I'm going to consider. And here is a logo that I'm going to use. You can obtain the logo from me. I have it in a number of different text colors. Just email me for it. So once we have the folder set up, we're going to go ahead and open up Adobe Illustrator. Every year or so, or maybe even more frequent than that, they come out with a new version with some enhanced features. For the most part, the workspace stays consistent and the tools don't change all that much. So we're going to click New File. And you could use preset sizes, but just to show you how to do it custom, we're going to do this. We're going to write our project name, right? Dance Promo. Let's say My Big Dance Show Assets. And we're going to make that in inches. This might be something different. If it's pixels, just change it over to inches. And we're going to make a portrait layout, so it needs to be taller than it is wide. We'll go 11 inches wide and 17 inches high. Sorry, my camera's over here and I'm actually doing it on this monitor, so that's why I keep looking to the side. If yours doesn't have anything here, then you need to decide whether you want to have a little white border around your poster or whether you want the color to go all the way to the edge. I know we've explained this in class, but if you want the color to go all the way to the edge, you actually have to send the printer a file that is slightly larger than your finished size. And then they have to set their guillotine so they can cut off the border. So we want our finished size to be 11 by 17, but we actually want a bleed. So we want 1/8 of an inch extra on each edge, and we will click this one of these once. They're all linked. If they're not linked, link them up. We do want, let's just make one artboard for now. And you want it in CMYK, which is how a printer understands color: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. We do want 300 pixels per inch. That's pretty industry standard. And you can click Create. It will open up your artboard. Let me show you. Yikes, I have some of these windows. Oh, come on, move. Shoot. Now I'm unnesting everything. This I usually keep over here somewhere. There. And then we'll put this, well, it doesn't really matter. We'll put this back up again. These will change depending on the tool you have selected. Some of these things change, right? So when I click text, certain things open up. Right away, we're going to go to File and Place. That is the command for importing your image. You have to just navigate back to the folder you created for this project. These are some images that I picked out. And let's use this one for a poster. I'm going to click Place, and that will put the image in our cursor. We need to click and drag, and you'll see that the image itself changes size but keeps the same orientation. You can drop it. You can pinch on your touchpad to zoom out, or use this to zoom in and out on the workspace. And then now I'm going to have this arrow selected if I don't. And the way I have my program set up, I have to hold down Shift to lock the height and width ratios. If you move it, right, and they don't lock, that can be problematic. Command Z on a Mac is an undo. So you can just Command Z to undo it. Now I like seeing a little bit of her hand and maybe one eye. This, okay. Anyway, you'll refine a little bit more and spend more time on the selection than I am right here. We're going to click this Type tool. We're going to drag out a text box. This will say the Department of Dance present, or the School of Music, Theater, and Dance presents. That's fine. Presents. Right? We highlight this text. Use this like you would any word processor. So we'll choose a font. That looks fine. We'll change the size. You can do some pre-selected ones here. We'll change maybe if we go to paragraph, we can choose the alignment here. So we'll justify center. We'll maybe shrink this. Right, and then we'll place it somewhere towards the top in the middle. It should kind of tell me, there it goes, it tells me exactly where the center is. Now we're going to drag out a different text box for the title of our show, My Big Dance Show. We'll highlight this and maybe we'll choose a different font, right? So we go over here. Yikes. I'm just going to pick something fast here. We'll make it bigger, even bigger. My Big Dance Show. Now you might want to alter the color. If you want to choose some colors from the existing background, you can click the eyedropper tool, and that will allow you to kind of pick color from the background, maybe this dark purple here. And then we can look at that. Maybe that's dark enough. If we want to, we can see if there are any different weights. This is a bold weight of the text that's available, but I need to make my text box a little bit bigger, right? Something like that. Now, with this selected, we can hold down the Option key and drag out another text box. Awesome! Now we know the font's already chosen, right? Our color's already chosen, and then we can write, Friday to Saturday. I'm just doing this quickly. February, you write it all out, right? 21 to 22. And the year, 23. And then we'd just select the whole text box and change the size of the font. Great. Now we're here, right? This is still way huge. If you think about like writing a paper, and if you wrote in 36-point font, it'd be huge, right? So this is pretty big still. And then maybe you need something for location, so you might want to drag out another box, and then you can do that. Blah blah blah. We also need to place, let's say, a QR code for tickets. QR. I'm just going to search what I have. I've got something like that. We'll place this, click and drag out. Great, we've got a QR code here. Maybe we label tickets. You'll finesse this. We also will place our logo. And you'd get a logo for your funders, right? We can align this with the bottom. You'd take some more time, obviously. Oh, this has a little bit of a white border on it. Anyway, I could finesse that, and you can zoom in if you want to. Great. Now, when you've got your whole poster done, we can do something cool like this. Oh, let's export it. Let's go File, and we're going to Save As. For Illustrator, if you want a PDF of it, which is what I'm asking you to send me, you have to go File, Save As. We'll save on our computer. we'll toggle this down to Adobe PDF, right? Let's call this poster. And then we'll click save and it'll open up a PDF box. Now here we don't actually need to preserve Illustrator editing capabilities. That increases the size. But we do have to click over to the marks and bleeds panel here and add trim marks. You don't need all the printer's marks. They don't need the color bars and the registration marks, but they do need the trim marks. And we'll click Save PDF. Yes, I understand that we won't be able to edit once you toggle the keep Illustrator editing, whatever. All right, so that will send it where it is. Now, I want to show you something cool. We're going to click on the artboard tool, which is this one here, and you're going to click and you're going to drag out another artboard. And why don't you do 2? Boom. Then, with the artboard tool still selected, let's double click in this artboard and we will alter the size. Uncheck constrained proportions if it is checked. We're going to go 17 wide by 11 high. We can also change this to pixels. We can say 1920 px times 1080 px. It will make those sizes proper. I'm not sure why it did that. Thanks. Anyway, oh, it must have just been a preset already. So that is the size of our wall-mounted monitor, a 1920 by 1080. And then down here we can double-click with our artboard tool, and we'll make this a square. So let's go, 8 by 8, and click OK, and that'll be for Instagram. Now we can, with this arrow selected, we can come over here and we can highlight all of this. Hold down the Option key, bring it all over. Awesome. Now we can resize things individually, but we have all of those things right under our fingertips, right? So we make this a little bit bigger, maybe we move it around. You can take this, center it again. You can take this and move it over here now. You can enlarge it, right? Take these both, highlight them, move them around wherever you want them. Maybe that'd be weird. We have them here, you can move this over here, you can move this logo right next to it or over here, right? You have a lot, but that took like 1 minute to do, right? Now for the Instagram one, let's go to place another image, one of the other ones we were considering, not this one. Let's say, that lends itself nice to square. We're just gonna go like this, and we're gonna move her down maybe just a little off center, right? The rule of thirds. I'm gonna go right over here. And great, we've just done those two things. Now let me show you how to export, because we don't want a PDF of these two. We actually want them in a different file format. So I'll go File, Export As. We're going to use artboards, but we're going to use artboard 2 and 3, right? 2, 3, or 2-3 will also work. And we want them in a PNG is fine, a JPEG is fine, okay? And they're not posters. Right, so maybe you just you know what these are, and just keep track of it. So we'll export these, and I'll show you what we don't need these in CMYK. Now we're actually going to change the color space into RGB, which is how a monitor understands color. Highest quality, 300 pixels per inch. Yes. Now we'll click OK, and I'll show you what we've got in our project folder, which is where we exported everything. Let's close this. We'll look back at our project folder, and now we have My Big Dance Show 2. This was our horizontal thing for the monitor. This is our Instagram story. We're going to put text next to that, and then here is the poster that I will send to me so I can get it printed with the crop marks. Great. Super fast, under 15 minutes. Have fun with it.